and we'll call that function in this if block. And shoot new fireball will create a clone of this object. So from draw, we want up the top here, create new instance. Create new instance of class. Well, class is not defined, so we'll get rid of that and we'll just use class of myself. From sensing down near the bottom under class of myself. So to create a new clone of itself, a new instance of its own class, and then what we're going to do is we're going to tell this master object to send a message to the new clone, and that will give it the information it needs. So from events, we want to send a message, send shoot to instance object. That's not defined, there's no object defined, but we do know what this clone is. If we right click on here and go create get instance, we can see variable instance is created, and this is a local variable, which we can see under functions there. So we want to put that in the place of instance object. So now whatever this was, we're sending the message shoot to it. And what we want to do is tell this clone who the player is. Good thing the master object has saved the player when the level started. So we can right click on instance player, get player, put that in there. So when the new fireball clone is created, the master fireball says this is who the player is. So when the clone receives that message, so we'll go to events, and remember the tricky thing is we've got the master and the clone, they both have the same code, so we're kind of separating out based on when the level starts in this tag, and then this message sending and receiving, we're separating out the two different fireballs. From events, we want when message is received with a value, when I receive the message shoot. Now we're thinking from the clone's perspective. So when the clone receives the shoot message with this value, who's the player, we could probably just click on player and click on value and change that to player. When I receive shoot with a player, I'm going to set instance player to the player here. So we're going to right click and go get player. So we're passing that information along. The problem is when the new clone object gets created while the game's running, it doesn't know who the player is because the player was set when the level starts on the other fireball. So the master fireball is handing on that information to the clone and saying, hey, this is who the player is.